This is going to be a short review of the most recent Paper Mario game on Switch, the Origami King. Paper Mario is one of the most inventive games that I've played, which is what Nintendo is in general, I suppose. It's adorable and very aesthetically pleasing. It even influenced other big games like League of Legends to make their own paper-themed skins, but honestly they don't look that great. Anyway, I'll get straight into the goods and the bads. There are three main good things in the game: visuals and music, boss battles, and creativity in general. The game looks incredible to start, as expected of big names like Nintendo. There are many different themed areas in the game which are very nice, and so are the very frequent tweaks in the battle theme to suit the area. Each area has their own thematic twists of the soundtrack. You'll hear that all the normal battle soundtracks have overall the same melody, but with different instruments to fit the area. My favorite one being the auto-mounted. Even the battle transitions look great. The boss and normal battle soundtrack are an absolute banger and of high quality. There are also small details in the song in which the starting few seconds of the song changes if you get ambushed. You could really tell that there's a lot of love put into this game. The music and visuals are my number one selling point to other gamers when I'm recommending this game. The boss battles in this game are such a joy to fight. I find myself always looking forward to both what the next battle boss might be and how it will carry out. Each of the bosses is unique and bends the rules of the board just a little bit. Without spoiling too much, the boss battles have a unique theme which I thought was freaking genius. There were many times in the game where I went, oh, we are doing this now? I'm talking about in-game activities that I really didn't see coming, so that's cool. The boss battles also fit into this category with how different they are each time. Moving on to the things that I don't really like about the game, namely the normal battles, difficulty, story, and lack of character progression. Origami King has this circular battle mechanism. While innovative, the normal battles in particular gets old pretty fast. I grew to hate on what happens right after whether or not you solve the puzzle. The fighting part right after feels very redundant and tedious. They either need to speed that up or just get rid of it completely, honestly. You will 100% one-shot the enemies when you successfully solve the puzzle, but you just have to go through the motion of doing it on and on and on. It just feels extremely tedious, especially towards the end of the game. Like, I solved your puzzle, why do I have to keep going through the boring part? It's 100% worse if you fail to solve the puzzle the first time, because maybe you can only eliminate around half of the enemies, in which the game will force you into a second round, but this time the puzzle is 100% solvable because there are fewer enemies, but you are forced to do the routine the second time. The game is just way too easy. You probably won't have to use any of your health items until around mid-game. The boss battles are very good, but you also will most likely never die in any of them, because the game will flood the field with health when you're getting low. You will also never ever have the need to use your recovery items in the battle. So story-wise it's not really bad, but it's just not great either. You probably could see the twists a mile away. It's just very bleh in general. There is absolutely zero feeling of progression in this game. I meant it in the way that battles don't give experience, no level ups, no skill point allocation of some sort, and you don't really get new flashy stuff in combat at all. Sure, collecting max health increases your power a bit, but it's super forced. I was expecting maybe we'll at least get something like a mastery system or a skill tree. You know, maybe you could do jump masteries or hammer masteries, but the game gives you nothing. As enemies get harder, you need better equipment, that's it. In conclusion, I would give this game a 7 out of 10. 9 out of 10 in the first half and 5 out of 10 on the second half. The game starts off great, with pleasing aesthetics, music, and battle system. The music and aesthetics remain strong throughout. Sadly, the normal battles quickly got old and tedious. The game seems to focus more on accessibility, seeing how easy it is to progress. They seem to prioritize the player's enjoyment and experience, rather than having a rewarding challenge. The lack of character progression in the game is such a big downer, because it basically gives us zero customization throughout the game, which also led to the oversimplistic nature of the normal battles. I would still recommend this game, but only if you don't mind playing the game for the sake of just having a silly, fun experience. The gameplay is not deep at all, but the feeling of exploration or adventure is quite nice.